We are now on the stock market crashes. Now we're going to talk about the background of that before we actually get into the crash itself. So we'll start with the 1920s. Who was the president that started off the 1920s? Come on. Teapot Dome scandal, Ohio gang, Harding, right? Remember he was the one that also signed the, or he let the suffragists come to his house because he wanted to get elected, remember? Okay. Who was the second guy that I said you had to do on your own? Calvin Coolidge, KKK, remember him? Calvin Coolidge? All right. So Herbert Hoover is going to be the one that's going to be elected in 20. Now, how does he get elected? So if you look at my little fancy chart there, you will, let's look at, so we talked about nativism, right?
Yes.
Hold on a second. So we talked about nativism, and if you recall in your world history class, okay, what was the problem in England and Scotland and Ireland? Who was fighting religiously? We're talking about the people, but we're also talking about two religions. Protestants and the Catholics. Who's the Catholics? The Irish, and in some cases the Scotch. Okay. So, when people came over, from England and so forth originally, some people were escaping because they were being persecuted in England and they formed their own little religious deals over here. But a lot of Irish came over because of the potato famine, as well as being persecuted for being Catholic. And the people that were already here were mostly Protestant. So, do you think the fight was just left over there?
No.
No, that was carried over to the United States. And so, Irish people were persecuted here, not as bad as African Americans, but I mean, it was pretty bad in some way. Watch the Gangs of New York, okay? And so, anyway, Alfred E. Smith was the Democrat at the time, and he was Irish Catholic. Is anyone Catholic in here?
Yes,
Oh, I did? Yeah, no. What's up with this, man? Is anyone Irish?
I'm Irish.
Yeah, you guys are no fun. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, you four would not be able to be president in 1928. Okay. And if you're a woman, then you can just forget about it because in 1928, don't even think about it. All right. Anyway, so he goes up against Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover being this like Anglo-Protestant. He's Republican. Now here's another thing. In the 1920s, we didn't talk about this too much, and we will later, but things were going good. People were making money. We're not in the war anymore. We're isolationists. We're out watching baseball. People are buying stocks, and they keep going up, up, and up. Why rock the boat? So if we elect a Democrat, you never know. Maybe all that good stuff will end. So we're going to keep the boat sailing smooth, and we're gonna elect another Republican. Besides the fact that he's Protestant. Okay. So Herbert Hoover gets elected. So that gives you a little idea also of the nativist feelings that were going on in the 1920s too, that we talked about yesterday. Remember? Okay. All right. Now let's get in. So. All this good stuff, yay, 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 roaring 20s, let's party, speakeasies, knock, 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 can I come in and have some alcohol? Okay, all that stuff's going on too. But there's also an undercurrent of economic problems that are bubbling up, but nobody really wants to look at them. Okay? Are you with me? So, let's talk, we're going to talk about a couple industries here, but we're going to talk about the farmers first. Who wants to be my farmers today? Okay, David and Beth. All right. So, what was going on in 1914 through 1918? Come on, I don't want to get mad on film here. All right. World War. Thank you so much. Okay. Did we not talk about World War I for like 3 weeks? You just took a test on it?
World War I.
Okay. Yeah, the Great War, the war. Okay. All right. So you're lucky this is not. I'm gonna be good. Anyway, okay. So World War I was going on. Okay. So we've got Farmer David and Farmer Beth. And Farmer David and Farmer Beth, when all you other people in here are soldiers, and you're going to leave and you're going to go over and you're going to fight in the war. Some of you may not come back. I'm sorry. R.I.P. Okay? But when you do, so David and Beth, right now their deaths are going to be one farm each. So you got yours, you got yours. Things are going well, making tons of money because during war, you know, things are good usually for certain industries. And so they're making money, you know, they're feeding all the soldiers, not just our soldiers, they're feeding the Allied soldiers too. So are they feeding more people than normal? Can they keep up with their one farm? No. So David and Beth go out and buy another farm. Pick another desk, I don't care which one. There you go. So they pick another farm, and they have now let's call it 2 plots of land, but now they have 2, what do you call that, loan on a house or a piece of land? A mortgage. So you got a mortgage on 2 pieces of land, you're rocking and rolling, it's going, man. You're sending all that food over there, and the soldiers are getting fed. And we got the victory farms too, that you guys are all doing at your homes because you feel like patriotic. War's over, soldiers come back. Are you now feeding all those other people?
No.
No, you're not. But David and Beth have 2 mortgages, and they have to pay those, don't they? Because the bank's like, they're not going to go, nah, don't worry about it, don't pay this month. They're like, excuse me, we need our money. Okay, so they're paying 2 mortgages now, but what's the problem?
We're not selling it.
Okay, so they're overproduced, so they have too much food, right? And they're going to continue doing that because they have to sell the food to make money to pay their mortgages. So what's going to happen to the food prices when they make too much food? It's going to go down. And so when it goes down and they can't make enough money to pay the mortgages, what does the bank say? Tough luck. We want your stuff back. That's our stuff. And so, yeah, David has to push his back. Beth's got to give hers back. In fact, you might even have to leave your current farm and go live with your family somewhere else. Okay, so when the banks, guys, when the banks foreclose on a house, is that good for our economy?
No.
No, because how do the banks make money? Off of mortgages and people promising to pay those notes. And so you got this huge problem in the farming industry. And it's going to start with, it's not going to start with them, it's going to be with them and some other industries as well. Okay? Now if you look at your notes, what's another, remember, Henry Ford, it's the 1920s now, right? Automobiles are now a household product. Now, does everybody have one? Not everybody doesn't have one like the radio, because the radio is cheap. You know? But everybody wants one. And Ford made it more affordable, didn't he? You remember? Yeah. The assembly line brought the cost down. So making more of the product actually is going to help consumers in this case. So more people are going to be going on cars and, let's say, buses, and they're not going to be going on railroads, right? Just like in the 1890s. Remember we talked about the railroads busting in 1893? So the railroad industry is going to have some financial issues as well. The textile industry is going to be hit. It's usually what started the Industrial Revolution in England and also
Textile.
right? Okay, when that goes down, and then the steel industry. Think about it. The steel industry was probably going really strong during 1914 to 1918. What war was that? World War I. Why? Why? Because we were making tons of weapons. Now, do we need all those weapons anymore? No, we got all steel though. We might be able to take that weapon and melt it down and do something else with it, but we might not be taking it out of the ground anymore. So the steel industry is going to go down too. And these are big businesses. And when the big businesses go down, everybody else goes down too, because it's a trickle-down theory, okay? Last thing, some of the new sources of power during this time period, hydroelectric, you know what hydro means? Water, so dams, so Hoover Dam, Boulder Dam actually. Fuel, oil, and natural gas. So they're going to start realizing that there's going to be some other fuels available as well. Any questions? Okay, I will do the backside tomorrow. Cool.